I'm Enrique Zaldivar, Director of the Bureau of Sanitation. The video you are about to watch shows ways to protect LA's water quality while you're on the job. The good news is that these are responsible practices that I am sure you are doing already. We call them best management practices, and they are things we city employees are doing every day to meet the requirements of our state-mandated stormwater permit. Keep up the good work. I value, and I know you do too, having a clean beach to take my kids to, having a neighborhood park that isn't full of litter, and knowing that we're all doing our part to benefit our own families, our communities, and our coworkers. Here's something to keep in mind. Yes, we have to do these best management practices on the job because that's the law. But here's the important thing. It's the right thing to do. At the end of the video, you will take a short quiz on the main points about preventing stormwater pollution. You can always get more information about this important responsibility by calling the Bureau of Sanitation's Watershed Protection Division at 1-800-974-9794 or by emailing us at lastormwater@lacity.org. Thank you.
This video is brought to you by the City of Los Angeles Stormwater Program as part of the city's requirements under its National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit. Of equal importance is the fact that preventing pollution is the right thing to do for the environment, for our city, and our communities, and for our own health and safety. The city counts on all of its employees to set an example for reducing pollution, not only in our waterways, but also in our workplace, in our streets, business districts, and residential neighborhoods. This brief video will talk about why reducing stormwater pollution is critically important and how each of us can help reduce pollution through simple, everyday, good housekeeping practices. And at the end, there's a brief question and answer review of the information presented. These are the roadways of Los Angeles, a complex transportation system that includes 6,500 miles of dedicated public streets and roadways and 800 miles of alleys. But there's another type of transportation system in Los Angeles, and it's just below these streets. Stretching out over 1,500 miles and connected to every community within the city is the storm drain system of Los Angeles. This storm system is a vast network of underground pipes and open channels originally designed in the early 1900s to help with flood management. The system was meant to drain the rainwater from the storms off the streets to area waterways and then to the ocean. Stormwater, unlike sewer water, is untreated. It runs directly from our streets into our waterways. With urbanization, pollution of stormwater has become critical. Anything dumped or dropped on streets, parking lots, or in gutters is carried into the storm drain system by water from rainstorms, water hoses, or sprinklers. Some of the most common pollutants found in stormwater are trash, like newspapers, fast food wrappers, bottles and cans, and cigarette butts. And toxins, like used motor oil, fertilizer, pesticides, and pet waste. All these pollutants mix together and create a toxic soup that enters the system through the 34,000 catch basins throughout the city, flowing straight to the ocean untreated. On a dry day, about 100 million gallons of contaminated water and debris run through the storm drain system, which would fill the Rose Bowl 1.2 times. On rainy days, the daily flow can increase to 10 billion gallons. Whether it's a dry or rainy day, stormwater pollution is a major problem based on sheer volume. There are serious health, economic, environmental, and neighborhood impacts caused by stormwater pollution. These impacts affect each and every one of us. People swimming or fishing in the Santa Monica and San Pedro Bays, particularly within 400 yards of storm drain outlets, are susceptible to viral and bacterial infections. When beaches are closed due to pollution and visitors stay away, the city can lose significant tourism income. Countless marine plants and animals living in the Santa Monica and San Pedro Bays become unhealthy from contact with stormwater pollution. Clogged catch basins in neighborhoods become nests of trash and debris that attract rats, cockroaches, create foul odors, and clog the system, affecting the way the neighborhood looks, its property values, and creating the potential for flooding during heavy rains. The Bureau of Sanitation is in charge of cleaning these catch basins. Crews are often amazed at what they find in the storm drains and channels. Beyond the usual litter, they've found shopping carts, auto parts, mattresses, and bicycles, just to name a few. The best solution to stormwater pollution lies with each of us, to change our everyday habits to help prevent pollution. In addition to all the actions people can take, the city has implemented several mechanical solutions. This is Bayona Creek, the only storm drain outlet that has a net to catch some of the trash that flows through this channel. But these nets do very little to stop other toxic pollutants from entering the ocean. They do nothing to stop pollutants like used motor oil, fertilizers, pesticides, pathogens like animal waste, and other toxic chemicals which flow through unseen. Another mechanical solution to help prevent trash from entering the storm drains are storm drain screens. Unfortunately, like the net at Bayona Creek, they can't stop toxic chemicals from flowing into the system. And whenever people drop litter on the sidewalks and on streets, large amounts of litter can build up, caught by the screens, and during the rainy season, we run the risk of clogging the screens, causing strong odors any time of the year. None of us should rely on these or other mechanical solutions to prevent stormwater pollution. Let's work together to stop letting trash and other toxic materials get into our storm drain system. The bottom line, the #1 source of stormwater pollution is people. When you think about it, one person's contribution to stormwater pollution might seem insignificant. But when multiplied by the millions of people living and working in Los Angeles, the combined impact is huge. One final note, many people don't realize dumping pollutants into a stormwater catch basin is a violation of federal, state, and city law. It's our job to remind them and demonstrate good environmental habits. Since the creation of the Clean Water Act in 1972, the NPDES, the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination Systems Program, has been a major force in the nation's efforts to protect and restore the quality of our rivers, lakes, and coastal waters. The City of Los Angeles, through the Stormwater Program, is legally required to implement the mandates of the NPDES permit, which ensures that water bodies within our city boundaries meet appropriate clean standards. The first NPDES permit was issued in 1990 to the County of Los Angeles, the city, and the other 83 incorporated cities within the county by the Regional Water Quality Control Board. The Regional Water Board regulates the NPDES permit and ensures that these water quality regulations protect human health and the environment. The video you're watching is one of the required elements under the NPDES permit, Public Agency Activities Program, Employee Training. Other required elements include model programs for development construction, development planning, illicit connections and illicit discharges elimination, the enforcement program, and public information and participation, the education program. Because many of our area water bodies are not meeting appropriate water quality standards, even after implementation of pollution control programs, the Federal Clean Water Act requires that total maximum daily loads, TMDLs, be established for the pollutants of concern. A TMDL is a calculation of the maximum amount of a pollutant that a water body can receive and still meet water quality standards. By 2012, the LA Regional Water Quality Control Board will have developed more than 60 TMDLs for these water bodies: the LA River, Bayona Creek, Santa Monica Bay, Dominguez Channel, Mother's Beach, and Marina del Rey. For each TMDL, the city must create a plan on how to achieve compliance. The first TMDL, adopted in 2002, was for trash in the Los Angeles River and Bayona Creek. It requires that the city reduce the amount of trash in these water bodies by 10% each year. By September 30th, 2015, there must be a 100% trash reduction achieved. In other words, there should be no trash in the LA River or Bayona Creek. If you want to learn more about TMDLs, go to lastormwater.org. What are some of the simple actions or best management practices each of us can do at work to prevent stormwater pollution and to provide a positive example to our city's residents and businesses? Best management practices, or BMPs, are defined as any program, technology, or process that reduces pollution. Many of these are common sense, good housekeeping practices. All of us can reduce the volume of litter on city streets, rivers, beaches, and bays by placing all litter in a trash can. If there isn't one nearby, hang on to your trash until you find an appropriate receptacle to put it in. Please, don't throw even one piece of litter on the ground. It makes a difference. Recycle everything you can in the workplace and at home. Reuse as much as possible, like printing on both sides of paper. Reduce waste by bringing your lunch in a reusable container instead of disposable paper bags. And use a ceramic or glass drinking cup for coffee instead of paper or foam cups. If you work in an area where trash dumpsters are used, keep the dumpster lid closed at all times. Keep liquid waste out. Clean up around the dumpster with a broom rather than water. If the dumpster leaks, get it fixed immediately. And never put hazardous or harmful waste in dumpsters or trash containers. If you work in an area where equipment or vehicles are maintained, take the time to use precautions to prevent spills. Have a spill cleanup plan in place. Clean up spills promptly using a broom and an absorbent material like kitty litter. Don't use water to clean up spills. Use a drip pan when changing equipment or vehicle fluids. When washing vehicles and equipment, use a city car wash if available, or an area where the water will drain into the sewer system or seep into the ground, not run off into the storm drain system. For employees who work in warehouses or store materials in yards or shops, make sure storage containers are spill-proof, leak-proof, and appropriate for the materials they contain. Inspect for leaks and perform routine maintenance. Use safeguards like sandbags, berms, or containment basins against accidental releases of fluids from the storage area. Cover materials stored outdoors with sheets of plastic or other types of cover, and make sure you store hazardous materials according to city, state, and federal regulations. For employees who clean our municipal buildings, city sidewalks, and plazas, trim trees and maintain our parks and grounds. Use a broom and dustpan instead of water whenever possible. Avoid using detergents in steam or pressure washing. Control soil erosion. Use only the right amounts and types of fertilizers and pesticides. And please, don't overwater. All city employees who are involved in construction activities have a crucial responsibility to control erosion and pollutants from the building materials at the job site. Sediments must be retained on site. Stockpiles must be covered. Toxic materials must be stored properly. Concrete waste must be retained on site and disposed of properly. Solid waste must be placed in covered containers or dumpsters, and slopes must be stabilized. For employees who design our future buildings and facilities, you have the opportunity to fulfill the old adage, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. In all your plans, specify systems and materials that protect the environment and incorporate best management practices as part of the design. Incorporate structural BMPs that will capture and treat the stormwater runoff from the project site and that meet the requirements of the Standard Urban Stormwater Mitigation Plan, SUSUMP, as required in the NPDES permit. We ask that all city employees lead by example. If you want more information about these and other best management practices, please log on to lastormwater.org to report spills, abandoned waste, a clogged storm drain, request stormwater education materials, or report any situation that may pollute storm drains, local waterways, and beaches. Call 1-800-974-9794. Thank you for being an environmental leader and for helping the City of Los Angeles meet its NPDES requirements. Our environmental future is in your hands. And don't forget, in just a moment, there'll be a quiz. I know you'll do great.
Check your stormwater pollution prevention knowledge. Now that you've viewed the video, see how well you do with these 8 true-false questions about the basics of stormwater pollution prevention. Question 1. True or false? The city's storm drain system covers 1,500 miles and is connected to every community within the city and flows to the Pacific Ocean. That's true. Stretching out over 1,500 miles and connected to every community with the city, the stormwater system is a vast network of underground pipes and open channels, originally designed in the early 1900s to help with flood control. Question 2. True or false? Stormwater that flows into the 34,000 catch basins located in the curbs of our streets is treated similarly to the way sewer water is treated. That's false. Basically, anything dumped or dropped on the ground or in the gutter is carried into the storm drain system by rainwater or other water runoff, contributes to stormwater pollution. And unlike the sewer system, stormwater is untreated. It runs directly from our streets into our area waterways. Question 3. True or false? There are serious health, economic, environmental, and neighborhood impacts caused by stormwater pollution. That's true. Stormwater pollution poses a serious viral and bacterial health risk to people swimming or fishing in the Santa Monica and San Pedro Bays, particularly within 400 yards of storm drain outlets. Economically, when beaches are closed due to pollution and visitors stay away, the city can lose significant tourism income. Countless marine plants and animals living in the Santa Monica and San Pedro Bays become sick or die from contact with stormwater pollution. And finally, clogged catch basins full of trash and debris can attract rats and cockroaches, create foul odors, and clog the storm drain system, affecting the way the neighborhood looks, its property values, and creating the potential for flooding during heavy rain events. Question 4. True or false? Stormwater pollution is caused primarily by equipment and vehicles. That's false. The primary cause of stormwater pollution is people, and people are also the solution. Question 5. True or false? The letters NPDES stand for National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, which is part of the Federal Clean Water Act. That's true. The City of Los Angeles, through the Stormwater Program, is legally required to implement the mandates of a 1987 amendment to the Clean Water Act, the NPDES permit, National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, which ensures that water bodies within our city boundaries meet appropriate and clean standards. Question 6. True or false? By 2015, the trash total maximum daily load developed for the LA River and Ballona Creek mandates that there be zero trash in these water bodies. That's true. The first TMDL, adopted in 2002, was for trash in the Los Angeles River and Ballona Creek. It requires that the city reduce the amount of trash in these water bodies by 10% each year. By September 30th, 2015, there must be a 100% trash reduction achieved. In other words, there should be no trash in the LA River or Ballona Creek. Question 7. True or false? The letters BMP stand for Best Management Practices and essentially mean that we use common sense and good housekeeping practices in our everyday lives to stop stormwater pollution. That's true. Best management practices are defined as any program, technology, or process that reduces pollution. Many of these are common sense, good housekeeping. Question 8. True or false? As employees of the City of Los Angeles, it is important that we set the standard for strong and safe environmental practices to protect our waterways. That's true. The city counts on all of its employees to set an example for reducing pollution not only in our waterways, but also in our workplace, in our streets, business districts, and residential neighborhoods. Thank you for completing our Q&A. For more information, visit us at lastormwater.org.